All right. Everything good? Everything good?
Fucking Wi-Fi. I think I got fucking hamsters running the Wi-Fi here.
It's all good, brother.
I gotta do this shit standing right now.
Oh, you standing up?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it is what it is. Good for the legs.
Yeah.
So I was just telling yeah, for sure. I was just telling everybody we're gonna have Hector and Michelle Mesa next week from Mesa Realty to come on and give all the ins and outs about purchasing a home. Something that you and I have discussed for quite some time.
Sure.
We had a salute to Mr. Paulinho Vargas still doing his thing. He came on the show, talked about credit repair and financing and purchases. So we finally made the connection, and that team is going to be here next week to speak about that. So pretty excited.
Let's do it.
So yeah, tonight, Philly Zone, Ilyas of Problem Child Fitness is going to be on. Mr. Wilson Tavares, yo, that's your boy, right?
Yeah. Dímelo, comendador.
Salute to you, brother. Glad you could be with us tonight. So Sully, what's up? You got anything you want to drop before we run this track?
No, I'm good, honestly. And if I did, I probably forgot with this damn Wi-Fi situation.
All right, people, let's go. Let's get it started. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Mr. A, with my partner.
Sully Sasong sin Wi-Fi.
And this is TheSet 6145. Tonight, man, Philly Zone, Ilyas of Problem Child Fitness. So, Sal, this is something we talk about a lot, especially being middle-aged men that we are. Fitness, right? Yeah. So when I came across this cat, I can't remember how it all happened, how I found him, but I came across his channel and I was watching this dude work out, and I was like, yo, this dude is not only
Ilyas.
Yeah, he's Ilyas a motherfucker. Not only is he a beast, but you can see there's something else going on. You know what I'm saying? The movements that, he does compound movements.
Right.
So it's not like he's just doing one exercise. He's like doing 5 in 1.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I gotta.
I saw one of his workouts. It was like 10 burpees, 10 push-ups, and 10 squats. And he's like, all right, then we're going 9. I was like, hell no, you lost me at hello. I'll start with 5.
For real. But watching it, I was like, yo, this dude, like just even watching this clip, like peep this. He's doing push-ups, but he runs through the gamut of those barbells and then runs it dumbbells. I said barbells, right?
Yeah.
He runs the gamut of the dumbbells and then runs it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is called overtraining. But dude is a monster. For real.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So I'm not gonna bore everybody with my perspective on Ilyas and his workouts. Let's get this thing started. Let me set this up real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, TheSet welcomes Philly's own Ilyas of Problem Child Fitness. Yo. Good evening. Let's go. Good evening, sir. How you doing tonight?
Oh man, I'm wonderful, man. I'm blessed.
Yes. That's what's up. So, Ilyas, I talked you up in the preamble. I'm sure everybody is like, who's this guy? So let's start it from the top. I always like to start from the beginning.
Yes.
Why don't you tell people where you're from and where this all got started for you?
Where I'm from, city of PA, Philadelphia. 50 years old, from a section called Frankfurt. I've been all around Philadelphia, but I rep Frankfurt. Love that section of my neighborhood. It made me who I am today. And this journey all got started when I did my first bid in prison.
So let me ask you a question. In Frankfurt, that means that you probably were in the midst of the whole crack era during the 80s, right?
I seen to snatch people up. I was right there, right around the corner from the project. So, right
Wow.
there.
So around what age do you start moving in the street? Like, is it immediate? Do you warm up to it? Like, you see your boys getting money and whatnot?
I mean, I always blessed, man. I mean, my mother had me when she was 14, so we had our little thing, but I always could go to my nana crib, and we grew up in a section called Mount Airy, and it was a nice section. So I guess about the time I didn't really learn about life until in my 20s, because I always sports. I always was doing something that had to do with sports. So I was always kind of sheltered from that point in time.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Actually, were you into sports or anything like that growing up in that area? And who led you into the sports? Like, what got you into sports?
When I moved to Frankfurt, man, that's when I seen all the guys. Like, when I moved to Frankfurt, I seen all the guys play sports, man, and I was just enthralled with running and jumping. You know what I'm saying? And then finally one day I did it, and I was kind of good at it. So I just kept it going, man. I played sports. I led it in 3 sports in high school. You know what I'm saying? So I played football, I wrestled, I ran track, I did gymnastics. So junior high school through high school, I did nothing but play sports.
So you like a Bo Jackson type dude in school? You playing everything.
I wanted to stay busy all year round, man. And that's what I did. Stay busy around.
Did you fall into a particular sport? Like, I play all these sports and I do gymnastics and so on, but I really like football, or I'm really into basketball.
I mean, you wouldn't believe. I mean, I played football was my first love. Like Tony Dorsett, big fan. Football was my first love. So it was football, but I also played basketball. And then when I ran track, I did the high jump and the long jump. I know it sounds crazy, right? But,
Nah. That's crazy. It sounds crazy to me because, for me, when I spotted you, you could tell that how could I say this in the proper context? Like, your stature, you're not a center or forward statured type of gentleman, right?
No.
But you have the stature of a running back,
No doubt.
right? Somebody who could, weave and a guard and a point guard type stature.
Yes.
So hearing you do track and doing the long jump, it's like, whew,
yeah,
that's crazy.
I did it, man.
So you go through junior high and high school, and you're just a sports fanatic. That's it. That's what you're doing, sports.
Yes. I went to Bloomsburg University after I graduated from high school. I went to college.
You went to play ball there?
I did. I played running back. I did. I should have been though, but I played there. It was just they didn't understand it, man. I was just going through a lot of things with football and what I wanted to do next, and I wanted to transfer. I was trying to transfer, because I really wanted to play. I gave up on when I was 20-something years old. I gave up on myself. I ain't want to play sports no more.
Is that when you turned to the streets?
And I came back when I left college, I went into the military. I went into the Marine Corps. I did my time in the Marine Corps, and then I came back to the streets.
What made you leave college and go to the Corps?
I wanted to box. I had a plan to box and still finish college and become an officer in the Marine Corps. That was my plan. That's why I did that. Plans never happen in the way you want them to happen. So I did my time in the Marine Corps, and I got out of there. And I went back to the streets of Philadelphia. Went back to the streets of Frankfurt.
Were you active or were you reserve?
I was active.
You were active. Where were you stationed?
I was in Camp Lejeune.
You did your whole time down there in Lejeune?
I did.
Wow. You never went to Norfolk or
No.
or NAS or anything? Just all Lejeune?
Yeah.
Did you make the officers program?
No. We didn't even. I didn't even get in school. It was just I did my time. I got out of there. But
Okay.
I wanted to do. It ain't turned out that way.
Did that give you? It sounds like you already had some form of discipline, because to be playing so many different variations of sports and then to make it to a collegiate level, you
Yeah.
already has a strong discipline within you.
I did.
So,
I
so
did.
the Marine Corps was really suited for you as your personality, who you are.
It was, but it was. I'm gonna say it was.
So now you come out. What's the next move for Ilyas? Like, what are you thinking at that time?
Well, I was. Uh, I guess it was kind of a rough transition because I was moving back in with my mother. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of rough in itself. Just moving back in with her and being home, and she said a lot of good things about me, but things ain't turned out that way. So coming back home was just a crush in itself.
Mm. And I guess it's at that point that you start to look outwardly for something else, right?
Boxing. I started.
Wow.
I
So,
got with Derek Ennis' father, Bozy.
okay.
He was training me for years. I started boxing.
Now, do you start getting fights, or?
Well, I mean, like I said, problem child, man. Everything just went left, like yo, you know what I'm saying? You always had a plan, but it
Right.
just don't turn out that way, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But it was all my fault. It wasn't Bozy's fault. It was
Mm-hmm.
all my fault. I went back to school. I told Bozy I'm going back to college. And I went back to college, got into some trouble and got kicked out. And then I went back to the hood.
Wow.
Yeah. Went
So
back to boxing and went back
uh-huh.
to peace and boxing and drugs, off and on. It was just boxing and selling drugs, off and on, and going to jail for the next few years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at what point, when you get your first bid, I'm sure it's like some little lockup shit, right? It's nothing heavy. You don't get like,
Oh, my first bid was 5 years. That was my first bid, was 5 years.
you got
What
caught
age?
with.
I got caught with, I'm going to say 5.5 grams of crack, $4,500. I got caught in a hotel room out Ben Salem, out Montgomery County,
Mm.
Bucks County.
Bucks County.
I ain't come home till 5 years later.
And how old were you then?
I was 35. Was my first bid.
35.
Came home at the age of 40.
Wow. So then you come home. What is it a shock to you to see what's going on when you get back to the street, or it's just like back to business?
I mean, when I did that 5 years, I worked out every day almost damn near for 5 years, man. So I was ready. You know what I'm saying? I was ready, man. I was ready, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't want to go back to prison, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to find me a job. I wanted to do a few videos on YouTube. I wanted to stay out the way. I wanted to work off this parole. You know what I'm saying?
One thing, sorry to cut you off. One thing about the streets is always going to be there, and that's people get caught up in that. They fall right back into that trap.
Yeah, exactly. But I've been working, man. I've been working since I've been home. My first bid, I was working, man. And it was just understanding that I had to go back and do that 4.5. You know what I'm saying?
What did so you got violated?
Yeah, I got violated.
What was the violation for? Contact?
Assault. I had an assault.
Assault.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined the show, I'm your host, Mr. A, with my partner.
Sully Song in the building.
And tonight we're speaking to Philly's own Ilyas of Problem Child Fitness. Keyword problem child. What I'm taking from the conversation with Mr. Ilyas is that there's a lot of energy there. And sometimes when we have too much energy, we don't know how to direct it. And it seems like maybe that was something on his shoulders, you know, all this energy and not being able to put it into places, that he wanted to, you know. So it's imperative upon us all, especially people like himself that have these amounts of energy. This gentleman is of a certain, he's middle-aged like us now, to be able to direct them in the avenues and use the vehicles that are available to us to keep us out of falling in the traps. But as you can hear, there wasn't a moment in time where he didn't have some sort of understanding of a plan or something that he wanted for himself. But being able to find that sometimes is frustrating, right?
Exactly. Word.
So Elias, you get violated. What is it like for you? Like when you get back up top, or like, do you see the usual faces and they're like, yo, what are you doing here? Or what is that experience? And on top of that, what was going on in your life that you had to disconnect from at that moment?
I mean, it was, man. It was crushing, man. It was more crushing than me having to go back home to mom. You know what I'm saying? It was crushing, man. Just seeing those faces, and I thought you was gonna go out there. I thought you was gonna do good and this and that and that's. It was just crushing, man. You know, I was crushed, man. I was hurt. My heart was broke. You know what I'm saying? It was broke, man.
And how long is it before? Because I'm sure you probably went in there mad as fuck, like on a violation.
I was hot.
How did you work through that? Like, how did you?
I worked out. I went right to the yard, man. And I was a friend of mine wanted to work out, man, but I just said I wasn't feeling it at the time, man. And then when I got by myself and I got in that hole, that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I just worked out every day, man. And I also had a son. I had a son that was born premature. And I had got somebody pregnant before I went in. And that was hurting me also, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. I got there for, the birthing of my son. I was locked back up in prison. You know what I'm saying? So that also was killing me.
Man. So you go in, all these things are happening. You start to focus your energy on staying busy through working out. Do you start building do you start getting a camaraderie of dudes around you?
I'm working out the guys in the hole. I actually shout out orders in the hole. 50 push-ups, 25 jumping jacks. And I had dudes in a cell. We used to get it, man, for years, man. Yeah, wow. That's what I did for my 3.5 years in the hole. That's what I did. I trained guys in the hole. That's what I did.
So I went
to the yard. My little 23-1 was in the yard, and I worked the whole yard, man.
So 3.5 years in the hole?
3.5, man.
What? Does that mentally? How does that affect you? Like after? Like mentally, like what does it do to you?
I had my time with the whole. Me and the whole already talked about this. I had my whole with it. I knew I was gonna come out and do something big, man. I knew it, man.
So it gave you a spark.
Yeah, I knew I was going to reconnect with people. I knew I was going to do it, man. It's people been through fitness. It's people I ain't talked to in over 20-some years, man. People that I love, and through my fitness, they got with me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And I knew I was going to do something big, man. And I just stayed patient. That's all. I just stayed patient.
It sounds like the time that you spent, losing time, because we all got people around us that we love that been up top, right? Yeah. We all know somebody, right? And I think the message that people should understand watching Ilyas share his story right now is that depending on the person that you are, is going to show through in your time, right?
Yeah.
to do 3.5, to do a year in the hole is one thing. To do 3.5 years in the hole is something else. And luckily, you were able to find something to put your energy into to make, to keep your sanity, I guess is what I'm saying, right? But not only that, you came home and you hit the ground running. And there's a lot of dudes, salute to my brother-in-law, Jose Morales, who's actually in the room. There's a lot of dudes that don't use their time constructively. And moreover, there's guys that come out from being locked up and do better than guys that have been on the street for like their whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's sad, man. That's sad, man.
Well, see, it's about who you are, one, and the comforts of life and what they do to you. Because you could become comfortable in your routine.
Yeah.
You understand? As opposed to somebody who's been behind the wall, they're hungry. You know, this is a person that's been deprived. So when they come out, they're like, yo, I'm going to get a house. I'm going to build I'm going to do this. Right?
Yeah. That's what they do.
So now your bid is done. You come home. What's life like for you? Because you have a son that you haven't met.
I went to Vegas.
Hold on. You come out and you go to Vegas?
I went from Bennett Penitentiary, bus station in Penn State. I went right to Las Vegas.
And what was that about? Okay. All right.
That hole.
Okay. I.e. the hole.
You might be talking about a different type of hole. Now.
Yeah, right. So, all right, you go to Vegas. What do you do? Like you out there like a week, 2 weeks, a month? What?
Like a week.
Okay. Okay.
But I had some money. You know what I'm saying? When I got booked, I had about $1,500 in my pocket. So stashed that for about 4.5 years. I got released. I had some bread. So I went to Vegas. And I seen the town for a week. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Put this shit on black.
So I got a video. That was my first. I got my first video I ever shot. Was in a breakfast on the Las Vegas Strip. The first workout video I ever shot, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did you start to understand, like, yo, listen, I'm gonna create a movement. This is what I want to do when I come home. When does that come to you?
I didn't really know, like, when.
Okay.
I had a job and get some money.
Yeah.
The whole thing. I just had to get a job and start building.
Right.
A job on my days off. I just had ideas to make videos. My days off, I made videos.
Okay.
And they got hot.
Well, let me go back to some cell. I'm sure you're curious to know this as well. When you finally come home after Vegas and you get with your son, what is that moment like for you?
Oh man, that was wonderful. He was 5 at the time. And I talked to his mom. She said, come get him.
Nice.
My cousin drove me over there and I seen him for the first time, man. And he had my head, man. I was like, wow.
Problem child head.
Yeah.
My cousin hugged him. That's your son. My mom seen him. It was
she broke.
Yeah.
Wow. So now what? Let's deal with the present time. What is the relationship now between you and your son? How is it?
Man, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm still father.
Okay.
I'm going through some things right now. You know how it be.
Yeah. I think that, another thing that we always touch on, because we're both fathers. Me and my partner grew up together from young. And now, we're gentlemen of a certain age, but we always try to convey the message that fatherhood is the pinnacle of what we do, right? Yes. And that people should find a way somehow to always put that first.
No doubt.
Obstacle. It's good to see brothers that, like yourself, that stay committed, regardless of the problems. You got to be there because that presence is bigger than money, toys, all that. Just the
Great.
presence. You know what I mean? So salute to you on that.
A
So
lot
now,
of my motivation is from my family too. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
But when I'm pushing for my son too, so we can have a good relationship one day, and I could be in his life and all that. I'm pushing for a lot of things to make right in my videos.
Mm.
Why they look so authentic. I'm pushing for a lot. I want a lot of things to go right because of fitness.
Small goals first, right?
I think that it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. You know, when I discovered his channel, I was just like, wow, this dude. You could just see by everything that he does. It's like there's something else behind it. There's more to this gentleman than just what he's doing. Because this dude be burning. Like I watch the videos and I'm like, damn, I'm sweating. Like what's going on?
The problem child name. I know it's not Jake Paul, but is that from 50 Cents or is that something that you just growing up came up
I got this tattooed on me almost 20 years ago. It's just that's why I was all my mom used to call me problem child. You know? And that's what it was. It always stuck. You know what I'm saying? And it just stuck. I got a tattoo 20 years ago. I got a tattoo on me. Problem child.
And now, so with this movement, Ilyas, are you, how should I say this? Are you trying to brand yourself going forward to sort of make this movement pop off? Do you want to just be a personal trainer? Do you want to, do you want to target specific types of personalities, young folk, problem child as yourself, as you would say? Because I know Philly, just like New York, we got a lot of young brothers that don't have direction, right? Exactly. So, like, is this something that you're sort of considering? Like, what are your plans for the movement that you're creating?
I mean, the mentorship is there. Of course, okay. I'm a mentor to young men and also young women. I want to get women in here on this workout thing also, you know what I'm saying? I mean, women, hood women.
Yes.
In the gyms, you know what I'm saying? So mentorship, of course. I want to be a dope trainer, man. I just want to be an in-demand trainer. A lot of rap, like I see Rick Ross working out with them trainers, man, and they not fucking with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like all them rap boys, I got street stories and all that, all from the hood. Stop working out with them white boys from Beverly Hills and training boys. Street nigga that you could relate to, and a nigga that you could trust, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't want no trouble. I just want to give y'all what y'all got, and y'all gonna, take care of me, man. That's all I want. I just want to be an in-demand trainer, train anything, man. You want to get shape? Let's get it.
Be a dope trainer, not a dope dealer. Is there a problem with licensing for you or anything because of the history? Like, is there a problem with that or no?
I didn't hear you. What you say?
Is there a problem with like licensing? Like, do they give you issues with licensing or anything like that because of your history of incarceration?
Not at all. Not at all. No, not at all.
Good.
Not at all. I just want to be a dope trainer, man. All them guys want to work out. Jim Jones, Dave East, y'all want to work out. And I want guys to. I think I'm also a dope partner to work with. So I want y'all guys that you want to do 30 down with me, 45 down with me. Come holler, come get me and holler at me. You trying to get shape? You want to fit into that wedding dress? You want to look good in that tux? Holler at me, man.
I think rocking. I actually think rocking out with Ilyas for like a year or two, you're gonna have to get resized because again, people, if you go over to his Instagram, Problem Child Fitness, and just look at the cat's routines, they just, again, you could just watch them and get tired yourself. But his approach to fitness is that of one, like, I ain't got time to waste. If you hear the bullshit, don't come around.
Hey, exactly.
Yeah. In that vein, let me ask you this question because this is something that I think people need to hear addressed. What is your diet like? Because you as a man of a certain age, one, I don't know if you're still able to eat all the garbage that that younger folk do. But since you're so active, you could, because you would just burn it off.
Right.
But are you of the mindset like, yo, I came to understand 80%, 90% of training is what you consume.
Exactly.
So what is your diet like?
First off, no pork, no salt. I don't put salt on anything. Unless it already got salt on it, I don't put salt on anything, no pepper. I'm eating eggs or hard-boiled eggs at least 3 or 4 times a week. Oatmeal, grits, cream of wheat. That's my breakfast almost every morning, man. If I don't eat that, I just don't feel right, man.
Okay.
Every morning I always eat that, man. I also like, if I have a good training week, I love blueberry pancakes like on Saturdays or Sundays, you know what I'm saying? Try to fill myself up with some good blueberry pancakes, you know what I'm saying? But I like brown rice, black beans. No, like I said, but no pork though. And I don't season my food, man. No salt. I hate salt.
You Muslim?
I eat regular like everybody else eat, man. I'm trying to leave that bread alone, man, but I love bread.
Ilyas, are you Muslim, or you stay away from?
Be Muslim, man.
Huh?
Now, I believe in me right now, man.
Okay.
But I used to be Muslim, man.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people, that's not something yourself. That's not something you hear every day from somebody that works out right. Yo, I'll stay away from pork. Like,
yeah, because a lot of these diets now, like especially like the keto and all that stuff, they're pushing bacon and all that on you every day.
Yeah, for sure. And what's your kick with salt? Because I know that some sodium is good for you, but you just like no.
It could be from prison, man. Because I used to see guys come to the table and just for 2 or 3 minutes, man. It's terrible, man. I hate the taste of salt, man. Salt, man. I don't like salt at all, man. So I don't season none of my stuff, like my grits and all that. No salt. I put some in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I got a question from the room.
Yes.
So there's a question that says, what advice does he have for women with mom bodies trying to get back?
They the ones I want to see. I want to see them, man, because they're the ordinary woman. You know what I'm saying? It's for them. But the advice I have is, I would say start walking, man. Start walking and just gradually get more physical every week. You know what I'm saying? Until you can get in the gym and start hitting I would say the resistance bands when you get into the gym. But get more resistance every week until you start to get into the weight training and the push-ups and that going crazy, man. Women, they could do this. It'd be great for women. I'm tired of hearing, I don't want to be all buff. I mean, you're not. You're going to look good. Your ass is going to sit up. Your titties going to sit up. Your arms going to get toned. I love women on that fitness shit, man.
You start with the walking.
Start with it's funny that's the first thing you said, because my partner here, due to COVID fucked me up. No excuses, just the real. Like, this is what it is. But one of the repetitive statements that he would always tell me is, yo, just start walking. Just start walking. You know what I mean? And I think that does set a good precedent, especially for me, because I have a bridge you could walk over by my crib, and that incline is a motherfucker. So yeah, definitely. To the young lady in the room, start with the walking and move up from there gradually as you can, see your ability reaching that point. But Ilyas, that leads me to my next thing. I think that you have to pull somebody. You're gonna have to go out there and find a woman in Philly who wants that for herself and start documenting it and be like, listen, I'm gonna change this chick.
Exactly.
And I think if you did that, people would be like, yo.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Salt is our problem in our culture. It leads to heart problems and kidney failure.
Adobo is our problem.
Adobo, yeah.
Like
I think that
sazon's a problem.
Yeah, sazon is definitely a problem. The gentleman, Jose Morales, said He eats like white people, no seasoning. And I don't think it's that. I think it's more that Ilyas stays away from these additives because
Exactly.
there's a lot of byproducts that are not good for us,
Yeah.
right? If you start reading, we talked about this before, when you start reading labels and understanding what they're putting in or not understanding because you're like, what the fuck is that chemical?
Yeah.
You realize that the more you use it, the more that it hurts you.
Yeah.
So there's natural ways for you to season your food to give you some sort of flavor. He's just of the mindset that he's not a salt guy. He's not a, additive dude.
Nah.
That's
So are you also are you like heavy on the water? Are you
Very heavy water. Gotta drink water every day, man. I have my moments when I might drink a juice. I started drinking soda not too long ago, but I drink a soda here and there. But with the water, I love water, man. I drank water when I was in the penitentiary. I drank water for years, man. For years. That's it, just water, man.
Soda's my vice, man. That's my cigarette. I can't.
I like ginger ale. I like
ginger ale?
I like ginger ale.
Okay. Yeah. I think that as my partner said, everybody has to have a vice, right?
Yeah.
You have to have something.
Give you some
right?
balance.
Yeah. I think that's the most important part of it all, because when you start to find your groove, there's also something there that you got to be like, all right, I got to feel like I'm giving myself something back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to find a way to doctor up an